We know now much more than we knew even 10 years ago about how the mind and the brain functions with respect to languages. Quite honestly, a monolingual mind is at a disadvantage. A bilingual mind has a big advantage over a monolingual mind on 15 or 20 different aspects of life. It doesn't necessarily make you happier, it doesn't necessarily make you richer, but it gives you advantages which a monolingual mind doesn't have. But the problem with the discussion is, what does the word bilingual mean? In the old days, we thought of a bilingual as this amount of English and this amount of Spanish, but no, not anymore. Now we think of a bilingual who has this amount of Spanish and has an active use of another language. So to have teaching and learning in another language at school, in university, is actually extremely positive. It's revitalizing, and it encourages a better and more profound ways of thinking.
There are many. For instance, Bielostok and several others who have researched this have found that bilinguals can stave off the negative effects of dementia for about 4 years. So the pathology is present in the brain of the bilingual, but because it's thought that bilinguals have more robust neural networks, then the bilingual is able to bypass the pathology and therefore remain mentally active for an extra 4 years. That's not just a benefit for that person, of course, that's a benefit for their family, that's a benefit for society in general. And recent research has also shown that when bilinguals have a stroke, they're far more likely to recover fully from a stroke than, for instance, monolinguals. So there also seems to be an added benefit there. There are numerous other cognitive benefits. It appears that bilinguals are better able to concentrate on the goal. So in this information-rich society where people are constantly receiving messages and being bombarded by information, it appears that bilinguals can remain better focused on the task at hand and not be drawn away from that task.
The experience of bilingual programs in high school or even in primary education in Spain is vast. For more than 1 decade, there are many regions in Spain that they are offering bilingual education programs, as I said, primary and secondary. So there is much more evidence in terms of, again, what scientific literature has to say about that, and all sorts of reports and different observations of what's going on, and especially regarding the outcomes. We can say that in general, and in comparison with other countries in Europe, Spain has a nice place, if we can say that. As I said, compared to other countries, because we started very early, and there are many regions that they have had a long way in bilingual education. The impact has been, and will be, hopefully, very profound. Because students, for example, I'm a university teacher, I can see that personally when I teach students first grade, first course, and I can really see the difference between students coming from regular education, non-bilingual, and students coming from bilingual education. Not only in terms of linguistic proficiency, but the capacity to manipulate content, the capacity to collaborate, the capacity to work together, to get access to difficult knowledge through cooperation. All I can say from my personal perspective, that in the implementation of bilingual education, primary and secondary education, is being, with exceptions, obviously, a success. So in that sense, I really think that what we have ahead in the future for those regions offering bilingual programs is that the benefits will be even better and more consolidated in the future, of course.